And that is Chewbacca Mom and her infectious laugh. Her Facebook video garnering 166 million views to date. Welcome to your Tuesday lunch break. I'm Tanya Rivero. Chewbacca Mom is the type of fun video Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg had in mind when he proposed live video feeds for users. Also, informational videos like lunch break that you're watching right now. But a dark side of live video feeds has surfaced, causing problems for the social media giant. Joining us now to discuss is Deepa Seetharaman, who covers Facebook for the Wall Street Journal. Welcome, Deepa. Of course, we've all seen plenty of those silly, cute videos, but the fact that Facebook has no censoring in place did lead to problems it wasn't prepared for.
So they have content reviewers, they have a process, they've talked about, how to manage violence before the rollout, but they underestimated, at least according to my sources, they've underestimated the amount of attention that it would get and the kinds of violence they would see.
Well, let's talk about that, because there have been, suicides live streamed. Is it correct to say there was even a murder?
Yeah, there have been a number of accidental shootings. I mean, people sitting in their cars and then suddenly shots ring out and somebody's been hit. There have been also just, terrorist threats, stream broadcast live, the Dallas shootings last year. Somebody was able to get footage of that and stream it live, and that footage actually wound up on CNN and other networks. So there's been a lot of sensitive, violent content, stuff that's sort of falls into this gray area. It's not pornography, it's not a beheading, but it's not the cutesy Chewbacca Mom either.
Right. Okay. So in particular, we want to talk about a video posted by a Minnesota woman that showed her boyfriend dying after being shot by police. Now, that video drew sharp criticism, but from critics accusing Facebook of censoring the video after it aired, correct?
Right. So what happened in that case was, there were a number, people just flooded to this woman's account as she was broadcasting live, and even after. These videos can be archived after the fact. And there were a lot of people flagging it as objectionable content. This is violent, this is bloody. Why is this on Facebook? And then what happened next were there were a number of users who then went through the woman's posts and flagged other items that they thought would have been objectionable or problematic. All of these reports just tripped up the system, and a glitch happened. I mean, that's, that's sort of the genesis of the issue. And the video was down for about an hour.
And it's interesting to point out, though, your report in the Wall Street Journal makes the case that, Facebook, as much as this causes problems for the company, there are also a lot of people there who are sort of proud that this tool was on the forefront of news reporting, or one could say on the forefront of a important, social situation.
Completely. And that's what makes the situation a little bit more difficult. On the one hand, you do have this incredibly violent, Philando Castile died on Facebook Live. He died on screen. But at the same time, it sheds light on something that's been happening around the country that a lot of people weren't aware of. And that's a tricky situation. It's not what they were expecting.
Sure. Now, of course, Facebook Live has also forced the company to wade into those tricky political waters because of the large number of political videos posted by users. That Trump campaign coverage live video has 1.5 million views to date. So politics is now part of the mix.
Absolutely. There's a lot of stuff happening, on live. Like last summer, there were a number of different Democrats that live streamed a sit-in protesting, inaction against gun violence. And the C-SPAN cameras, you might remember this was last summer, the C-SPAN cameras were shut off, and all these different, representatives took to Periscope and Facebook Live to live stream the sit-in. There are moments like that you could see that there's a lot of news value here, and then there's the tricky stuff.
So what's going on at headquarters now? How is all of this playing out? Are there changes ahead for Facebook Live? Are they just going to keep it rolling the way it is and see how it develops?
So last month when Mark Zuckerberg issued this big manifesto for the future of the company, and in which he articulated the vision. He talked a lot about content review, and he talked about how some of the issues that they had been, sort of stumbled into in recent years, not just with Live, but more broadly, they eclipsed the company's current structures to actually manage that. So he's relying a lot on artificial intelligence. He's relying a lot on sort of new technology, stuff that isn't really camera ready yet, stuff that is yet still being developed and still being kind of put together. But the idea being that maybe AI could help detect when violence is about to happen or self-harm or something like that, and then it could surface those videos to somebody at Facebook without being reported.
Fascinating idea for sure. And quickly, Facebook, of course, was hoping that Facebook Live would be a very lucrative product for the company, encouraging celebrities, brands, media companies to take part. Does it look like it will be lucrative for Facebook?
It looks like, with Facebook, every time there's a live video in the feed, they do make money just based on the ads around it. But I think what they were hoping for was more people. So the early data was so promising. It was something like 70% of the people actually using Live were in their early 20s and younger. It was a kind of a demographic that Facebook hadn't seen that level of activity from in a while. Right. So they had very high hopes. But it does seem, just according to publishers I've talked to and different users and former employees, that the activity kind of waned after a while. Like, it was a novelty and it was big initially, and then it kind of got a little less interesting to people. And so nowadays you see Facebook really talking about original content and different types of video on Facebook. So it does feel like the emphasis has shifted internally as well.
All right, Deepa, thank you so much for that. It will be interesting to see where Facebook goes with all this. Thank you.
Thank you.